Hi, everybody. Hope you guys are doing good. Hope you're having a happy Sunday. We are here a little early today, but I hope that that's not too much of an interruption for folks. Figured better late than not at all, right? I mean, early than not at all, rather. I'm going to turn this music off in just a second. I'm just lighting my Palo. I probably should have been faster with that because I really do not know how Childish Gambino feels about people playing his music on YouTube, but there were no lyrics, so I think we should be good. Hey, JL, hope you're doing good. For those of you who are tuning in for the first time, hello, I am Mambo Soleil. I am the Coven Mother of Vision of Dawn Tour. I am the founder and facilitator of the Charm School Mentorship Program. I'm your weekly reader, and I'm a dope bitch straight up out of Oakland. I am here to do the weekly energy reading. I typically do these around 7:30 or 8 o'clock, but due to personal reasons, I'm doing this a little early. Hi, Kodan. I've been thinking about you. I actually got to reach out to you about your book. About your, yeah, I got to reach out to you because I bought a copy 2 years ago when you first released it. And now I can't find my copy, so I need to buy another one from you. So I hope you're doing good. If you don't hear from me tonight, you'll hear from me in the next couple of days. Hi, Tiffany. Hi, Hunti Labalin. Hey, Nicole. Hello, everyone who's here. Again, this is a weekly offering that I give every week on Sunday, sometimes Monday. And it's just for me to give people a little bit of insight into what they should be aware of, what they should be tuned into. As, hey, Nakia, for the week ahead of us, right? So I'm going to jump straight into it just because, again, I'm starting early for a reason. And I want to make sure that I'm out of here by a specific time, but I still wanted to come through and just chat with you all, okay? Now that my schedule is kind of, getting back to normal, I will be trying to transition back into my twice weekly schedule. So we will be doing Sunday general readings, and then Thursdays we'll do like a midweek check-in happy hour kind of thing. So I will be back this Thursday, sometime between 6 and 8 p.m. We'll get it figured out. Hey, Sanidra. Let's go ahead and get straight into it. I'm just going to jump straight into the general reading for the week. Hey, Bertal. Ancestors, angels, and seven masters, spirits with me. Elevated ancestors, what do we as a collective need to know about the week of April 28th through May 4th? Please tell us about the lessons, blessings, challenges, and breakthroughs that lie ahead of us, how we need to move and navigate, what we need to see when it comes to our environment, and who we need to be when it comes to our character and our actions. Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Hey, Ami ASMR. You're the only thing holding you back. You're the only thing holding you back. And what I mean by that is that there are several of us who are watching this either right now or in the replay who are on the brink of expansion, right? And we've been there for a minute. Things are about to move forward for us in a really, really beautiful way. But we can't see that clearly because there are two things happening. One, we have not moved forward in a way that allows us to fully see our maturation. We're not looking at the experiences we've had in our recent past from a place of compassion. So when it comes to that work of reparenting through the fathering, right? Doing that masculine reparenting work, this is a time where we need to give ourselves compassion. We need to pour love into ourselves, right? This is not a crack the whip, hustle culture need right now. This is a need for us to speak to the inner child within us from that loving divine masculine and remind us of how far we've come. Remind us of how smart we are. Remind us of how good we've done. Because whatever this old version of yourself is, or this old pain that somebody has manipulated their role in your life to hit a particular trigger, right? And to throw an old version of yourself in your face. And you need to heal from that through refathering or through reparenting so that you can let that cycle close, right? That's what I mean when I say that you are the only thing you have to worry about. There's nothing you have to fear but you and the things that you don't let go of, right? If you can have the spiritual discipline to really give yourself that deep, loving, fatherly compassion that you deserve, then you will see opportunities start to come in and you will see forward movement on your expansion. Very first card, 3 of Wands, the card of expansion. You guys know what you need to do to move forward. You have a clear view of the path ahead of you, and you have an awareness of what you need for the journey ahead of you, right? But there are some of you, some of us that are looking at old iterations of who we are, looking at old versions of ourselves. And the reason why you're doing that is partially out of nostalgia, right? Whoever this person is, there are things that you were doing and you're being offered now that you, in your mind, this person would have always been there. But unfortunately, they're not. So now you are going to have to fill that role in your life. You are going to have to motivate you. You are going to have to remind yourself of how far you've come. Remember, the King of Cups is the compassionate father, right? So that loving, nurturing, nurturing, tender, affirmation, reminder of your resilience, you are going to have to be that for you right now, right? And you're going to have to trust yourself to do that, okay? So this is the end of a painful cycle for some of us, right? It's going to be, here's the thing. It was always supposed to be you. It was always supposed to be you. And anytime you have given this role to someone else in your life, they're going to hurt you. Because anytime you give somebody access to your emotional compassion, anytime you make somebody responsible for your emotional health, they have the capacity to hurt you, right? We have to be responsible for our emotional health. So this is an emotional maturation lesson that a lot of us need to learn. And this is a painful cycle or chapter that's coming to an end for some of us, right? And again, this is related to spiritual discipline. This is under the King of Cups. So if you can incorporate this ability to look back on your recent past, to affirm yourself and acknowledge how far you've come so that you don't get stagnated in your mistakes, this will open up a ton for you in terms of possibility, in terms of ability to move forward. But it also turns into spiritual wisdom that you can pour into other people, right? Because that is an element of Hierophant that people forget. Yes, it's spiritual journey. Yes, it's wisdom and routine, but it's developing spiritual keys, gaining access to spiritual knowledge that then makes you a teacher, right? That then turns into something you can pour into other people. So Spirit is wanting you to do this now, because it'll give you clarity, going back to that 3 of Wands, about how you are supposed to move forward in your expansion, but also because there is opportunity, there is windfall coming in. And some of you guys have been working for these opportunities for a minute now. So Spirit wants you to learn how to do this so that when the opportunities come, you don't shit the bed. Let's be real, right? If people are already looking at you like this, as a leader, as somebody intelligent, as somebody they can get wisdom from, but you are struggling with this and you're still beating up on you and you don't know how to nurture you. You don't know how to help you heal your wounds when you stumble. You don't know how to remind yourself of every time you rode that bike without falling and why you got to get back on it, right? Then it's going to be hard for you to accept the responsibility that comes with this. Here's the thing. Nothing is free. Even blessings from the ancestors are not free. I know some of you want to look at the ancestors as genies. I know you think of spirits as Pokemon. That's not the way it works. Everything comes with a responsibility, right? Nothing is free. So these blessings that are coming your way come with a certain amount of responsibility, and that responsibility gets unlocked through working on your self-compassion. What does it look like to, yes, hold yourself accountable to sometimes where you've fallen and the mistakes you made? You may have fallen off that bike because you were riding it too fast. You may have fallen off of that bike because you were showing off and trying to do a trick too early that you haven't mastered. You may have fallen off of that bike because a cute girl or boy was coming your way, and instead of focusing on the path ahead of you, you stumbled, right? Let that be an opportunity to give yourself wisdom, not beat up. Because the beat up and the abuse is part of what makes some of you guys stagnate and go back to obsessing over those old versions or old iterations of yourself, right? So let this painful cycle die. Let that memory die. And fill it with understanding of who you are now and the wisdom you've accumulated so that you can handle these blessings that are about to come to you, okay? That is the general reading. Let's go on the love next. I know I always save it for last, but we're going to go on the love next and see what comes up. Where do we need to be in terms of our hearts this week? Ancestors, angels, and master spirits, walk with me, elevated ancestors. What wisdom do we as a collective need about love, romance, and matters of the heart as we go into the week of April 28th through May 4th? Who do we need to be and what do we need to see about ourselves, our environment, and our habits when it comes to love? The way we speak about love in our life, the way that we deal with love, that we handle love. What do we need to know? What will this next week reveal to us? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. 2 cards fell out. Actually, I'm going to put them back in. Let me switch out because this is the deck I was using for readings earlier today. And same cards are falling out. It may be tired. Let's see. What do we need to know about the role of love and romance in our life? What lessons, what wisdom will we get about matters of the heart over the next 7 days? Who do we need to be and what do we need to see about ourselves, our habit, and our environment so that we can have clarity as it relates to love? Any wisdom shared, it's deeply appreciated. Thank you all for hitting those scales for me. Love it. Love it. Thank you. Appreciate you. Okay. All right. Some of you are way more comfortable with the love and the adoration that you get from your community and the people that respect you than you are with romance, which is crazy because it's like you understand that people admire you. You understand that you have a lot of respect, especially in the workplace or in community, but there's like a lack of understanding that people think you cute, right? And there's some attraction that's about to come into your life, and it's about to come very, very quickly. And it's coming from an unexpected place. I'm bringing this up because it's almost like, and I'm gonna get through the cards individually in a second, but it's almost like, and I'll use this word purposely, there's an embitterment connected to an old way of seeing yourself that is going to make it hard for you to believe this person almost when they show that they are attracted to you, or when they make it known that they like you and they want you, right? So start thinking about that and why you have a comfort with being liked amongst your friends, amongst your colleagues, amongst your community, but you have hesitation, right? When it comes to romantic investment. That's something that you really need to change. Some of you probably need to do some spiritual work around it. So, like a spiritual bath or some sort of head washing, something of that nature, to really shape or change your perspective. But here's the thing, Six of Swords, a lot of you guys are making a lot of progress. A lot of you guys are discovering new parts of yourself, and you are on a journey that is going to bring you to new conclusions about who you are, as well as the world around you and the people around you, right? And as a part of being on that journey, it's not surprising that people are going to start to see you. They're going to start to notice you. They're going to take an interest in you, right? Three of Wands is personal expansion, and it's people literally starting to notice you. That's why it's the first like in the millennial, right? That first like on a post that helps you understand, like, oh, people see me, right? That's the energy that's surrounding some of you guys around love. So you're coming out of a period of feeling unnoticed, and a lot of that has to do with the journey that you're on. Learning to take up more space, learning to be comfortable in exploration around other people, right? And you are now around people that are very like-minded, that have the same interests and likes as you, right? Have the same kind of questions and desires in the world. And what tends to happen when we are around work besties, when we're around people that have shared interests? They start to like you a little bit more than a friend, right? Some of you are not ready for that at all. That's why the Queen of Swords is here. Some of you are highly suspicious of romance. And part of it goes back to this Six of Swords. You just want to be on a journey. You just want to experience people without, for lack of better words, the burden of romance. That's why this message is coming up through the Queen of Swords. What do I always say about her? When she's aligned, she learns from her heartbreak. She's learned from her past experiences. It makes her sharper. When she's misaligned, or in reverse, for those of you who use that language, she is embittered. She is suspicious. She doesn't like or trust anyone. This is an area that you guys need to work on, because a part of this journey was not only to bring you expansion with community and friendships, it's to bring you all forms of expansion, which goes back to love, right? So this is a really important time where you ask yourself, why do I feel more comfortable being friend zoned or being, community zoned or whatever? Why does romantic attraction, why does somebody crushing on me make me uncomfortable? Because whoever this person is that shows up through this Three of Wands energy, that's seeing the moves you're making and the expansion, yeah, they're attracted to your expansion and they want to see you win too, but they probably could end up being a good lover. And so you don't want to be in a position where you're so hyper fixated on the comfort of these other areas of life that you don't make space for romance. So this is the part of your journey where you start to think, what do I want for myself in the future? What kind of love do I want? What kind of attraction makes me feel whole as opposed to objectified? Because here's the thing, and I said this to someone earlier, a lot of times when we say we want relationship and then somebody shows up and we panic, it's because we spent all that time focusing on the absence and not what we want to fill the absence, right? Seven of Pentacles is about the seeds you plant now that are going to give you bounty in the future, right? So work on planting seeds now around the kind of romance you want, because here's the thing, that expansion is happening. People are seeing you. They like you and they want you, right? There's going to be more romantic opportunities coming along, the more you just expand generally as a person. So start thinking about the seeds you're planting. Okay. If you know you don't want a busybody man, maybe spend a little less time at the lounges and nightclubs. Spend a little more time at the libraries and the museums, right? Go to community events, but really think about what it is you want for romance and plant those seeds. Because as your community expands, as more eyes get on you, that's gonna be, yeah, it brings other opportunity, but it also brings love. Y'all not ugly. Like one of the burdens of being cute is that people are gonna want you, right? So for some of y'all, this means you need to do some spiritual work, right? This lack of clarity and also this resentment, right? Because the resentment is what's showing up as suspicion. That's the only reason why you're suspicious. Mambo's gonna tell her personal business. I had, and this happens to me a lot, I don't know why, but I had an ex pop up out of the past over the weekend. And there is no possibility of them coming back because I'm still figuring out some stuff with the other ex that showed up 8 months ago, but we're not gonna go there, right? But it made me really uncomfortable. It made me super uncomfortable. And the reason why it made me uncomfortable was because I could not trust why they came back up. So then I had to stop and I had to ask myself, like, okay, did I ever do a cord cutting with this person? Yes, I did, thank God. So what's the lesson in them showing back up, right? Why am I made so uncomfortable by them coming back up, right? Some of you guys don't necessarily need to do any workings to attract love. What you need to do are workings on yourself to be ready for love when it shows up. Those are two very different things, two extremely different things, right? So this magician is speaking to this Queen of Swords in a really, really strong way. What are the old meanings, the old understandings, the old baggage, honestly, that makes you uncomfortable with somebody liking you? Is it reminding you of something from the past? Have you not worked through something? There's something going on here. And once you uncover what that is, take it to spirit. Do some work around it. But this is not work that needs to be done to call in new lovers. The opportunities are there. Don't worry about that. Worry about being ready for the right opportunity and having the discernment to choose the right suitor. Okay? That is the love message for this week. See, y'all start talking and getting busy when I'm doing the love reading. What y'all saying in here? Give me a second to be nosy and then we'll go into the finance reading. Let's see. Come right on in my area. Well, Asha, I didn't know I was talking to you directly, but I'm hoping that I was able to give you a little bit of wisdom that was helpful. Low key, I felt like I was getting hit with the message. That happens to me sometimes where it's like I'm reading and I'm like, are they talking to me? But I see that it's for a couple people. So I hope that that was helpful. Nicole said, hold on. Let's see. Y'all know I'm old. I just turned 42. Give me a second. I'm not realizing that I'm not technologically savvy has been a big thing for my ego and my age. I spoke to the universe, what wanted, universe and ancestors sent me. Yeah, it worked. See, I don't even think you know this, Nicole, but I use you as a testament of how manifestation works. You and I have a friend named Theta. I've watched both of y'all get clear about what y'all wanted and then get it very shortly after. So I know that that works. And more people need to trust it. It's real. It is absolutely real. Laba Lynn says, well, thank you. I think we all need to hear that we're not ugly. None of y'all are ugly. It's all beautiful women. I've seen the majority of you guys face to face. If I haven't seen you face to face, then I've at least seen your avatars and your pictures, and they're not AI. So there's no y'all. I'm a Taurus, and we can be vain. So that's one of the first things I notice is whether or not somebody's attractive. I'm sorry. Let's see. Okay, but I love that for you, Mambo. At least you know what yeah, that they always know what they lost, but they lose it a little too it's too late. I'm not forgiving with it's very rare that I am nice when people circle back to me. And the only reason why I'm still dealing with the last one that circled back is because I was rude. So I can admit when I'm wrong. Even though people say Tauruses can't do that. I can do that. Let's see, let it go. My dreams have been about healing my trauma. Good, good. This is a perfect season for that. There's so much like really soothing, precious energy right now with Taurus season that this is a really good time to work on confronting your trauma in a compassionate way. So I'm glad to hear that you're doing that. Asha said, an ex appeared in a dream with my new interest, and the message was there is some lingering emotional ties to my ex. The new interest is there. Yeah, that can also happen sometimes. An ex will pop up to make you question what's going on with your current attraction. So I think you leaning into that wisdom is going to help you. Venusian women are very hard at forgiving. I'm a leap. Yeah, I'm a Taurus. I'm the other Venus. I'm the other Venusian zodiac sign. So I understand. Like, and I think so. Libras and Tauruses are very different except for when it comes to that Venusian influence. And I think that with Libras, the same reason why we struggle to forgive is the same thing with Taurus. And that's because we give people a long ass rope. Like we give people instructions like, hey, don't do that. Don't do that. You're getting too close to the line. Please don't do that. Don't do that shit. Don't do it. And then when you're around people that are assholes or predatory, they like, for whatever reason, get off on that shit. So by the time somebody has pushed us to the end, what the fuck is there to forgive? Like we already told you not to do all that stuff to us. So I get it completely. I get it completely, Asha. And that Virgo moon, we ain't gonna forget nothing you did. So don't play like you don't remember, nigga. We remember. We probably got screenshots. We know the date. We remember the time. We probably remember what we was cooking at the moment, what area of the house we was cleaning when you tried us. We remembered all of that, right? Oh, thank you, Shwazy. Thank you for the happy birthday. Thank you to everybody who wished me a happy birthday. I had a very peaceful, unexpectedly like sexy birthday. It was lit. It was lit. I loved my birthday this year. No complaints. No complaints. I have no notes. All right. Let's go ahead and get into the money reading. Let's do the money reading for the week. Ancestors, angels, masters, spirits, so walk with me, my elevated ancestors. What wisdom do we as a collective need to know about the energy of money, abundance, and prosperity in our life over these next 7 days? Can you give us wisdom around the blessings, breakthroughs, lessons, challenges we may have as it relates to finances and the way we treat money, the way we engage with money in our life? If anyone is dealing with any blockages and needs wisdom about how to use the energy of these next 7 days to move those blockages, please give us wisdom. If any of us are going to be blessed with a windfall and we need wisdom to honor it, please give us that wisdom. Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Yeah, don't talk to people about your money. I feel like this comes up at least once a month. Don't talk to people about your money in detail. If you cannot talk to them about money at all, that will be really, really great. And here's the thing, it happens in subtle ways, right? You out to drinks and then somebody, you just mentioned you're looking for a new job. Somebody will ask your salary range, right? People will then take and make assumptions based off of that, right? Somebody will ask if you want to go out to a concert. You'll say, no, I don't want to spend money on that. And then they'll make assumptions, right? Just be really mindful how you speak about your finances, because a lot of us who are watching this either live or in the replay are very much in a space of rebuilding, right? We are making plans for the future, and we are thinking about what we want in terms of our financial expansion. Um, okay. I don't know which of y'all needs this message. It's a little messy. I'm gonna say that in advance. Some of you, and I'm saying us loosely because I done got rid of all the motherfuckers who do this with me. I don't got nobody around me to do this goofy shit. But some of y'all would be surprised who is pretending to be a friend just to collect data about you, right? And either to use that data to gossip or to use that data for comparison. And they may not show up as an overt hater, but they'll put doubt, speak doubt over your plans. And again, because things are tenuous and you're in a space of development, you don't need nobody in your life speaking doubt on anything you're trying to do, right? We have the Three of Cups, right? Typically celebration around the goal, but y'all know for me, Three of Cups is gossip. These are the people, what Biggie say, it be the ones you smoke blunts with. These are the people that you drink wine with and you tell your business and you think you're celebrating and laughing, but they're low-key data collecting so that they can gossip about you behind your back, okay? So be careful who you talk to about your plans, about your financial business, about your dreams right now. Not because, and I'm not saying this to make you suspicious, but you don't know what people are going through and you don't know their true intentions, right? We have the Devil card, and this is a slightly new, you guys know that I work on my relationship with cards all the time. And one of the newer meanings of Devil card that I get is because we don't always know our vices, right? And some people are deeply insecure and not aware of it. And the worst thing you can deal with is an insecure person who is in denial about their insecurity, because it brings out a ruthlessness. It brings out a nastiness in them. That's why I love that in this deck, the devil is the fuck boy, right? What do we know about most fuck boys or fuck girls or fuck thems, whatever you want to call them, right? They are not going to acknowledge their insecurities. They're going to weaponize their insecurities against you and use them to fuck you up, use them to beat you up, okay? And again, you may be sitting around toasting, drinking, talking about dreams with somebody that's a friend, and then you say something that makes them feel small, makes them feel insecure. So then guess what happens? The next several days, weeks, whatever, they are around putting doubt over you, right? They are bringing confusion over you. And then that confusion makes it hard for you to make decisions and move forward with your goal execution in the ways that you want. Be careful. You don't have to say every idea you have about your expansion to other people. Literally take that shit to your journal. Take that shit to your journal. Take that to your ancestors. If it's something you want to do, girl, sit down and fucking turn that into a petition, right? Anything you can do to turn that into imaginative creation, put your efforts there. This is not a time to run your mouth about your goals with people around you. Because your goals are not fully formed yet, and that's okay. That's okay, right? I hope everybody who's on here watched Sinners, right? That brilliant ass movie started as an idea in that man's head. If he would not have taken the time to write it out, right, and to develop it, and he just would have ran around running his mouth, and he would have ran across a fuck nigga, a hater, somebody who's insecure, somebody who shits on anything and everything other people do because they don't have purpose or vision, right? He may not have been able to manifest that. So that time where you are developing the clarity around the dream is so precious. Do not minimize it. This is not a time to talk about what you want with your finances for other people, but it is a time to sit in dreamy observation. So journal, make your vision boards, write things down. Okay. Nicole, someone would have stole the idea. That happens. That has happened to me. Um, it happened a lot when I was working in academia, and it's also happened in my time as a priestess. I wasted time talking about an idea when I could have sat my ass down and developed it. And then I turned around, and one of the main people who told me that it was stupid was now doing it, right? So spend your time developing your ideas. Don't cast your pearls among swine, because they will either shit on it, or, as Nicole said, they will steal that for themselves. Training, development, right? This is a time where you refine not only your skill set, but your vision of who you want to be. That is what will help you get out of imposter syndrome. A lot of times we share things with people prematurely because we want external validation. We want affirmation. No, external validation is not what's going to help you get your money right and get closer to your financial goals. What's going to help you get closer to your financial goals is doing the work and refining the skill set. The only thing that conquers imposter syndrome is developing the muscle in the area of life where you have the imposter syndrome so that you can get rid of it. And those of you who feel imposter syndrome, say you want to own a house, you don't already own a house. Well, sitting around and being up about yourself because you don't own a house is not going to help you. You need to go to NACA meetings. You need to look on Zillow and see what the prices are even in your area. You need to speak to a financial advisor to get a timeline going. If you are somebody that can do all of those things, then that will bring you out of the imposter syndrome. But going to other people and talking and telling them all your business so that they can shit on your dreams or steal your ideas or gaslight you into believing you're doing something wrong, that's not what you need right now. All that will result in is you manifesting your fears and then being imprisoned by those fears. And then feeling like you have no options of getting out of your financial situation and feeling like you can't move forward, right? So when it comes to your money this week, shut the fuck up. And I mean that with as much love as I can muster. When it comes to your money and your goals for your money and the ways you want to expand financially, shut up. Because the external validation is not going to help you, period. It never does. There have been studies done that said we get the same dopamine hit from talking about a goal that we get from accomplishing the goal. So sometimes when you talk about a goal too much, it'll make you stop moving and working towards it because you've already gotten the affirmation. So that's the druggy impact of external validation. Don't worry about that. Do not make yourself food for the devils. Do not make yourself prey for insecure people that will likely not only shit on your ideas, but as Nicole brilliantly pointed out, will probably take your shit, right? Do the work, do the planning, do the research, do the refinement. Those are the things that are going to bring you closer. Talking too much and sharing prematurely is only going to put you in a personal hell and a personal prison and give you regrets later, okay? That's why I don't tell anyone my book ideas. I just draw up outline. That's the way to go about it. Yes, Virgo Queen. That is the way you do it. Let people come to the launch party. Let people see the advertisement. Let people see the new product listed. Let people see the new segment on your channel. Let people see you show up in the new car, right? Let people see you show up with the new nigga on your arm, right? Don't tell people about what you're trying to do until it is done. Because again, that devil card energy, that fuckboy energy, and I think we are blessed, the majority of you all who are watching me tonight, myself included, we are all blessed to be in such an energy of alignment that we don't think about how we can fuck up things for other people just because we're dissatisfied with ourselves, right? There are people out there that are so broke and broken that instead of them figuring out how to make their own money work, they're wasting energy trying to assault and attack and minimize other people's efforts. Protect yourself from them by being quiet. Being careful with this, ultimate form of protection. Okay. Let's go ahead and finish up with the health reading. Hit those scales, hit those scales. Let me know y'all are with me. Ancestors, angels, ascended masters, spirits that walk with me. My elevated ancestors, what wisdom does the collective need at this time about health, wellness of mind, body, and soul over the next 7 days? What are the habits we need to maintain, introduce, or release so that we can have balance of mind, body, and soul? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Hey, my zone. Good to see you. Hey, Toya. Thank you for joining tonight. Clarify this Three of Cups. What do we need to know about this Three of Cups? This is a week of no. And what I mean by that is if it's not about you, if it's not going to help you engage in self-reflection, if it's not going to help you get the rest that your body needs. Some of you guys are very, very tired and exhausted, dealing with some severe energy deficits. If it's not going to help you get the rest that you need, get the reflection that you need, get back to the space of alignment that you need to be comfortable with saying no to it. This is a week where you got to let people pour into you. And if they can't pour into you, be comfortable with, circling back to them later down the line. I'm getting 4 weeks. And I know some of you guys can't ignore people for 4 weeks, but if you can just deprioritize other people for the next 4 weeks, that will set you up for the energetic reset that you need. Some of you guys need this energetic reset, not only because you're physically tired, but because there's too much bouncing around your head that does not belong to you, right? Hermit comes up when we have too much information, too much opinion, too much of other people's bullshit from the outside world. So this is about you needing to connect with you so that you can get clear on you, who you are, what you want, how you should be moving around, right? So this needs to be a time where you let yourself sit by yourself. Some of this alone time is going to feel uncomfortable because there is an inherently uncomfortable nature to the Four of Cups, right? But here's the thing, that stillness will bring you clarity. The reason why you can't really see the options clearly in front of you is because you're moving too much. Too much is going on around you. So if you give yourself the stillness that you need and honestly deserve, you will be able to see things clearly as you move forward, right? We have the Three of Cups again, this time clarified by the Page of Swords and the Page of Pentacles. You're going to get a lot of invitations to go out. Some of them may be tempting. But here's the thing that we know about the Three of Cups. Yeah, it's a lit time. Yeah, it's celebration. But a lot of gossip, a lot of judgment, a lot of unnecessary opinions in these environments. And if we just came to the conclusion that we need to be still so that we can take ourselves out of the spirit of comparison, then you need to figure out a way to do that, right? And it's going to be uncomfortable because some of you guys are in spaces where you feel like you can't say no. That's not true. It's never true. So the Page of Swords is here to remind us that this is us learning how to wield our swords, how to say no, how to have healthy boundaries, because that's what Page of Swords is learning. We also have the Page of Pentacles, learning that opportunities will come back to you, right? Page of Pentacles, the apprentice around finances. You are not going to lose your job just because you don't go to happy hour. Your sorors or your fraternity brothers are not going to stop fucking with you just because you don't go to that one event. Like, it's not going to be the end of the world. And that's something that the Page of Pentacles is in the process of learning, right? That it's okay. They will be okay, right? So again, yes, boundaries as a form of self-care. Love that, Kodan. And the reason why this is coming up about this Page of Pentacles lesson about learning that it's okay, because here's the thing, the Page of Pentacles is learning how to become the King of Pentacles, right? That's one quick tarot lesson. Page is learning how to become the king and the queen. So if the Queen of Pentacles attracts money easily, and the King of Pentacles is deeply responsible, and they've developed a good reputation so that money is always flowing into their life, you have to learn how to trust that. So no, you don't have to go to every event and be a busybody. In fact, sometimes that will fuck you up, that because it's draining your energy, right? Whatever you fear you're going to lose, no, you're not. Six of Pentacles, charity. People are going to be pouring into you, right? People want to see you win. There's going to be a blessing coming your way. You're not going to lose out on that just because you give yourself permission to work this week. Part of what you guys need to leave behind in terms of when it comes to your health is this belief that you have to keep going all the time. It's not helpful for you, and it needs to be left behind. This is a week where some of you guys do the inner work of understanding that burning the wick at both ends is not going to bring you closer to success. The only thing it's going to bring you closer to is health problems. Whether those are physical health problems or emotional health problems due to nervousness, due to stress, due to anxiety, right? We end with the Knight of Swords. A lot of you all who are watching me right now are in fields, whether it's nursing, whether it's teaching, whether it's nonprofit work, whether you work in the mental health field directly. A lot of you guys work in fields where you are used to being the sacrificial lamb. What do I mean by that? Those are fields that are necessary and they're blessings, but there is a compassion fatigue, a burnout that comes from being in those. We are not meant to live a life where we are always putting everybody before ourselves. I love that the Knight of Swords is the protest organizer here. I grew up in the Bay Area, like home of nonprofits. Everybody's an activist to a certain degree. And I've watched people literally work themselves into the ground for community and not have anything for themselves and have their health fucked up. You don't want to be that. You do not want to be that. So this week starts the beginning of a 4-week cycle where all of us are being called to reflect over how we overextend ourselves, to reflect over whether or not we are taking the rest that we deserve, and also to reflect over whether that tendency to overwork comes from a false belief or a fear-based belief that if we are not working all the time, if we are not always in service, if we are not always giving from our last drops, that we won't be taken care of, right? You have to release that understanding in order to get to a point where the opportunities are being poured into you, because the overwork is actually making it harder for you to bring in the kind of ease that's going to bring you the health and the comfort you deserve. Okay? All right, we're at the end of the reading for the week. Those were all 4 areas. I got about 15 to 20 minutes. I can make it 20 minutes, but I'd like to be out of here in 15 if possible. But I got about 15 minutes where I can do questions from the audience for those of you who came with questions tonight. While you are typing out your questions, I'm just going to go ahead and bring you all up to date on things that I'm working on. For those of you who are interested in mentoring with me, I'm opening Charm School back up for interviews for the month of May. So we will be interviewing people who are interested in joining our mentorship program for the month of May, with the hope of having a new class or a new cohort of people starting in June. So if you are interested in joining a hoodoo coven, if you are interested in learning the basics and the foundations of hoodoo as a lifestyle, as well as learning more about ATR practices, if you want to learn more about how to bring practical magic into your life to have personal transformation, join Charm School. Join Charm School. It's literally a charm school for magic. It's going to teach you the foundations of what it looks like to be a priestess, how to heal yourself and how to heal others. The link is in the description. So make sure you tap on that if you are interested in learning more about my mentorship program. For those of you who are interested in getting mentorship, but you have either financial tightness or issues with time commitment, I am figuring out a way to relaunch my free mentorship program. I cannot give you a direct date and time yet. Hopefully we can relaunch it in June, but do not hold me to that. Again, I want to focus on getting things solidified with Charm School first. I'm currently running a sale. So if you would like to get a private reading, a one-on-one reading, if you would like to purchase any of the previous classes that I've taught, consider going ahead and purchasing through my website, soleilconjureshop.com. If you use the code Taurus, you will receive 25% off of any order you place that is $60 or more, okay? I have a Patreon. Again, another option for those of you who want classes but may not be able to afford full-time mentorship. Any of my paid Patreon levels, you get a free monthly live class, as well as I will occasionally repost replays as well. I know for those of you who are on the Patreon, I know I have not updated in a few weeks. We still have our class on Tuesday. So I'm going to make sure that I put an update about that in the Patreon before the night is over. With the retreat having happened this month, and also last week was my birthday, I've been a little distracted, but I will get back to updating the Patreon. And we do have our class on the difference between emotional intelligence and emotional maturation and the spiritual implications of such this Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. EST, okay? I feel like those are all of my big updates. I'll be announcing the specific dates for next year's retreat next week. And I will also be announcing the dates for the next round of Rich Spirit towards the end of the week as well. But for right now, the sale, the Charm School interviews, and Healing Hearts. Healing Hearts is a 30-day forgiveness program / ritual that I am running with my goddaughter, Grand PA. For those of you who know that you have blockages that need to be moved, struggle with forgiveness, are carrying resentments that are causing spiritual issues for you, consider joining us for this 30-day program. Not only will you be getting support and healing from 2 priestesses, Grand PA is a clinical psychologist. So it will be journal prompts that are spiritual in nature, but also have a psychological background for those of you who are interested. So consider joining us. It starts May 15th. The link to join is below. Okay, I think those are all of I thought I didn't have that many updates, but I feel like that's everything. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Dulcinea wants to know what went wrong in the relationship with Eric. Ancestors, angels, ascended masters. What does Dulcinea need to know at this time about the relationship between she and Eric? What can you tell us about what went wrong with this dynamic? Is there anything that she needs to know at this time? that she needs to be made aware of. Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Good to see you as always. Your last free mentorship was bomb. Thank you, Shwazy. I thought so. First of all, I want to give shout out to all the ladies in Vision of Dawn Tour because they ran it. I just came in and fussed at people once every 2 weeks. But my ladies are the ones who ran it, and they did a fantastic job. But yeah, I am looking forward to us doing it again. So thank you, Shwazy. Thank you so much for saying that. I appreciate the words of affirmation. I'm going to be really, really honest with you, Dulcinea. He experienced you as being obsessive. Not as like obsessive as in over him, but obsessive in that you couldn't let go of certain things and that you may have said things that made him feel like you were a little bitter. We have the Ace of Swords, which is vision board. It's plans for the future, absolutely. But to me, Ace of Swords is telling me that he developed new insights in the context of the relationship that led to things not going the best, right? Queen of Swords, he experienced you as at times being domineering and at other times being almost embittered, right? Saying things in a vicious way when it may not have been the most necessary. So there's like a bit of a coldness that he experienced that was not what he expected. Then we have the Ten of Swords, which is talking about, I get two things from the Ten of Swords. A, this was not an interaction that was meant to be that long, but B, both of you guys have things to learn in terms of how this kind of came to an end, right? There's some painful lessons for both of you all to learn so that you can move into this next chapter of your life. That's what I'm seeing. I hope that makes sense. Let me know if you have any further questions. Let's see. JL wants to know, what messages from the movie Sinners did my ancestors want me to take away? I've been having dreams downloads since watching it and need some clarity. You're very welcome, Dulcinea. Ancestors, angels, ascended masters, spirits, walk with me, elevated ancestors. What messages do JL's ancestors want her to have after having watched the movie Sinners? What wisdom is it that she's supposed to take away from her downloads? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. That movie has left an impact on everybody. I swear that was a powerful ass movie. Shout out to Wumi Masako. Bitch, you did that. Thank you for being a hoodoo woman in a movie that was beautiful and gorgeous and grounded and respected and not crazy, and they didn't go out of their way to make you look nut like you did that, girl. Thank you. Thank you so much. If y'all think I'm not dressing up as Annie for Halloween, y'all got me fucked up. This is actually a really interesting message. And it's funny because as soon as I saw this spread, I started hearing Tony Jones, take up space, sis. I'm going with it. Yeah. Your spirits want you to take up more space. They want you to be more active. They want you to be more trusting and rooted in your intuition. You overthink a lot. And they want you to be more intuitive, right? You already know that so much was about quick action. I hope I didn't spoil. I think I just said who my favorite character was. I'm not going to do that to you, Nicole, but watch it because I can't give you another week. So by the time we come back next Sunday, I'm going to have to give some spoilers. So make sure you go watch it this week. But yeah, they want you to be more intuitive. The opportunities that are about to pick up for you in your life are going to be ones that you have to be rooted in your power and trusting in yourself to take advantage of. You have a lot of wealth in your ancestral bank. And I think I want to speak from spirit because I was about to speak from memory. I see. They want you to speak to the wealth and the brilliance in your bloodline just as much as you speak to the deficit. I think sometimes there are things from your lived experience that make you hyper fixate on what's not, what hasn't worked from your lifetime. But if you can focus on the wealth and the abundance and the wisdom in your blood and the generational wealth that you have to pull from there, you will see a lot more come up for you, right? And they're bringing this up because the spirits are about to take you on a journey where your self-trust is vital and you can't really do a whole lot of looking back, right? Um, and so we only look back when we don't trust ourselves or trust the decisions we made with the wisdom that we had. So what they want you to learn from sinners is that it's a lot of fire in your blood, absolutely, but there's also a lot of wealth and opportunity. And that's what they want you to focus on, because those are the things that you're going to need for this next chapter of your life. I hope that that was helpful. I think that may be all of the questions for this week. Let me see. I don't think there's any more. I'm having a hard time scrolling up for some. Okay, there we go. Ami has a question. Do I need to be putting my energy in finding another part-time job, resting, or my own business? I got you. And again, if anyone, it's not a necessity. This is a free offering I give every week. But if there is anyone who would like to show their appreciation through a love offering, my PayPal and my Cash App are both scrolling below. Honestly, if you, those are both deeply appreciated. But if you have been wanting a private reading with me, put your money into a private reading, especially since I got the sale going on. For the next week and a half, you have about a week and a half more to get 25% off of any readings purchases over $60. Okay, so consider booking a reading. Sisters, what does Ami need to know about what she should be doing at this time? Does she need another part-time job? Should she be focused on rest, or should she be focused on developing her own business? Please let her spirits pour wisdom into her around this matter so she knows how to move forward with clarity and precision. We have the Page of Wands, the Eight of Cups, and the Ace of Swords. The two cards that fell out while I was shuffling was the Nine of Cups in reverse and the Eight of Wands. So I'm going to start with the cards that fell out. You got to work on your relationship to gratitude, baby. I think a lot of your ingratitude makes you feel like you're not doing enough. You have more than enough on your plate. You really do. You have more than enough on your plate when it comes to you developing this vision that you have for the future you want for yourself, right? So the lack of action or clarity you may have been feeling as it relates to coming up with ideas for your business has a lot to do with the fact that you need to do a little bit more gratitude work. I recommend that at least for the next week, if not longer, you end every night by writing out a gratitude list, or start every day by writing out a gratitude list and seeing how Eight of Wands that motivates you, right? you already know what you want to do with your business. You just got to figure out how to root that shit in reality, right? So it's about finding the creative imagination to make your business thrive and to make it grow. So this is a time of inner work. This is a time of you learning how to develop a plan for you to walk away from working for other people. Filling up your time with another part-time job will just become more distraction. And that's energy that you can be using to bring more traffic into your business, right? Especially if, so this is an exercise that you need to do. I did this right before I quit working for other people, and it really helped me in terms of cost benefit analysis, thinking about whether or not I should have focused more on my business. Literally write down how much you would make from a part-time job. Make it a real number. Include your state's taxes so that you know what would be subtracted from your check. Look at that and think about with your business, because I don't remember what you do for your business, how much whatever you would need to bring in to meet that. If you know you need to bring in 4 customers within a month, or you need to book 2 contracts, ask yourself, would you be spending more time at the part-time job getting that same amount of money, or would you spend less time putting that into your business to earn that? If you spend less time in your business, then you already know what you need to do, right? And I bring that up as an example because this is what you need to be focused on right now. Planning and plotting when it comes to your business. Creating a vision board, creating a clear plan. So no, I don't see you needing to get a second job. I don't. I think I see you needing to, yes, focus on rest so that you have the capacity to do what you need to do when it comes to expanding your business. Okay. That's what I see for you, Ami. I hope that helps. All right. Nicole said, do the personal readings. They are totally worth it. I thank you for that, Nicole. I think my readings are dope. There are things that I've said to people in readings years ago, and they come to me now, and they're like, "Oh my God, Mambo, you were right." And I was like, "I said that, damn." But at the end of the day, I'm a vessel for spirit. I could get on here and act like other spiritualists and bang my chest, and I'm so powerful and I'm better than everybody. Okay, I'm a vessel. I'm a vessel for spirit. So any wisdom you got through me came from God, came from your ancestors, came from the spirits I work with. So I'm grateful that I was able to be a vessel for that message for you. But yeah, get a reading. They're worth it. In Nicole's words, they are absolutely worth it. I'm going to finish with Nicole's question just because I think it's so dope. Do you think centers will create a shift in our community with regards to Afro spirituality? I think that is a very interesting question, and I'm looking forward. Actually, I'm going to switch decks for this one. Let me go to Cleo. I'm looking forward to seeing what the spirits have to say about that. Ancestors, angels, ascended masters, spirits walk with me. Will the movie centers cause a shift when it relates to African as well as African American, Black American religiosity and spiritual practices and wisdom shared is deeply appreciated? Love that question. Thank you, Nicole. I love fun questions. Y'all don't ask fun questions. Let me not say it that way. Of course, I understand why you guys want to ask personal questions. It's a great opportunity to get a free personal question asked. But and that's why I'm looking forward to getting back to the twice weekly schedule, because I like the cultural questions too. They tend to be really, really fun. I think I'm gonna read bottom of the deck for this one as well. Let's see. Yes, it will. I don't know if I necessarily see people practicing, but this is really opening up people's vision. Absolutely. So very first card, we have the magician, right? The magician, somebody who's able to take the elements and create anything out of it, right? So I think a lot of people are going to be open to understanding the power that is inherent in melanated people in terms of their ability to move the elements and create literally something for nothing. But then also the downside to that is that people see the magician as a trickster. So even though this creates a lot of questions, there's still going to be a little bit of suspicion. I think there will be an increase in people learning to trust their intuition, learning to understand that those dreams that they have about the elders, those scents that they smell randomly when they smell a grandmother's perfume or smell, their uncle's cigar, that those aren't happening for no reason, and that there is wisdom to come from that. Absolutely. It opens up people's ability to have a new vision and a new ability and a new way of seeing things. So I think that that's beautiful. Bottom of the deck, we do have the King of Swords. So what I get from the King of Swords being here is that so there's going to be a path, right? There's going to be a lot of over intellectualizing of things and still trying to process them through white religious institutions, intellectual understandings. But I don't think that those overpower the fact that people have a curiosity. So the long and the short of it, I see an increase in interest. I see an increase in asking questions. I see an increase in people trusting their intuition, but that doesn't come without suspicion. And that doesn't come without, a little bit of people playing in our face. Because King of Swords likes to play in people's face, right? They like to play mind games. They like to think that they're smarter than everyone. So yeah, there's good and bad that comes from it. That's what I see. Love you all. I didn't show you guys the birthday set yet. These are my birthday nails. They're subtle for me. There's more subtle than what I'm used to, but I love them. Love you all. Take care. I will see you Thursday. We've not done a happy hour reading in forever. So think about the questions you want me to go over for happy hour. Think about the topics you want me to do. And then I will come up with a topic or a headline. No Diddy. No Diddy. No Diddy, no Kanye. Those are my two. I will talk about almost any and everything. But if we can stay away from Diddy and if we can stay away from Kanye, I would deeply appreciate it. Those men are triggering the hell out of me for no reason. And I just don't want to engage with them as spiritual conversations. But I will see you all Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. EST. Come with your wine or your tea or your snacks or whatever, and we will have a happy hour reading session. Love you all. Take care. Bye. Good night.